Okay, so let's start here. We are diving into the Ain Samiya Goblet. It's this tiny 8-centimeter silver cup found in an intermediate Bronze Age tomb. And for decades, people thought its engravings, these amazing chimeras and snakes, were all about the Babylonian creation myth. You know, the Enuma Elish. But our mission today is to completely flip that interpretation on its head. This goblet, it's telling a much older and, surprisingly, a much more harmonious story.
It is, and what's really fascinating is how the conventional wisdom just missed a huge timeline issue.
Right.
I mean, the goblet dates to somewhere between 2650 and 1950 DCE. The Enuma Elish, this whole epic about the god Marduk's violent victory over Tiamat,
Yeah.
that was written a full millennium later, 1,000 years. So
Yeah.
we're not looking at an echo of some future myth. This is something else entirely.
So if it's not Marduk in this epic cosmic battle, what exactly are we looking at on this little silver cup?
Well, you have to see the decoration as two scenes, but they're not separate. They're two stages of one single peaceful story.
A story of what?
Of the transition from primordial chaos to a structured, orderly universe. If you look at the left side, that's your chaos scene.
Okay.
It's all about fusion, things being mixed up. You've got that incredible bullman, chimera, part human, part animal, and the great serpent, which is like the ultimate symbol of chaos, and it's totally dominant there.
And then it moves to the right side of the cup. That's the order part. What changes?
Exactly. But the shift isn't violent. There's no battle. Instead, it's all about deliberate organization. The scene represents cosmic order and cyclical renewal. It's really focused on the birth of the sun deity.
The sun deity.
Right, who rises up and organizes the universe, making sure the forces of chaos are, kept in their place in the underworld.
Okay, this is the part I find really interesting. In that order scene, the figures are holding this crescent shape. And for years, experts just dismissed that as a moon, didn't they?
They did, just
Yeah.
a simple lunar symbol.
Yeah.
But that's where the dating changes everything.
Ah.
Because the timeline connects it to a much older, much more profound symbol. That crescent, it's actually the celestial boat.
The celestial boat.
Yes, and we can trace this symbol all the way back to 9500 BCE at Göbekli Tepe. It's the vehicle that carries the sun and moon across the sky, and it guarantees that cosmic order is maintained.
So in a burial context, that's incredibly powerful.
It's the ultimate symbol. It ensures the sun is reborn every day, which means it can facilitate the rebirth of the soul of the person in the tomb.
And the sources are pretty clear that this complex idea wasn't invented in the Judean Hills. It traveled, right?
Oh, absolutely. The theory is that it was first designed by an Akkadian illustrator way down in southern Mesopotamia, then actually made in northern Syria, and then it traveled down trade routes.
And now there's new evidence for that route.
Yes, this is the really exciting part. There's a previously unpublished object called the Lidar Huyuk prism from northern Syria.
And what is that?
It's a pretty crude everyday object, maybe a seal or a record keeper from around 2000 BCE. But what it shows is incredible.
What's on it?
It shows figures connected to the exact same celestial boat motif. The fact that a common object like this shares that cosmology, it confirms the whole idea was migrating down the Fertile Crescent right to Ain Samiya. It proves this wasn't an isolated object. It was part of a huge, shared intellectual world.
So when we put it all together, what does this mean? The Ain Samiya Goblet isn't celebrating a war. It's more like a sophisticated, peaceful map of creation, reflecting this deep Sumerian and Akkadian philosophy.
Exactly, which leaves us with a really important question for you to think about. This idea, this cosmological concept, it lasted for an astonishing 2,500 years, from early Mesopotamia all the way to the Egyptian pharaohs. So what fundamental human hope, or maybe fear, did this idea of predictable cyclical rebirth actually address that made it so powerful for so long?